Hey guys, welcome back to Once Upon a Tiny Farm. My name's Drew, and in today's video I wanted to do a quick video on some experiments I've been doing in our nursery with the ways I've been seeding things, and also on this row here, something I did a little bit different. So stick around and we'll get into it.
So why don't we go somewhere only we know?
So you can see here, this is the back half of our farm plot, where right now I have 9 rows of Salanova lettuce. And on this row, you'll notice soil looks a little bit different, and that's because this is topsoil that I actually mined from my property. Well, it's a little bit overgrown right now, but I did this right before spring, where there were still lots of leaves and stuff on the ground. And this is an area where leaves just fall from the tree and hasn't been touched. So I thought it might be a cool idea to try to mine some soil directly from our property, and I didn't go very far. It ended up right here. So I'm assuming this soil will do okay for growing something like lettuce, which, like I said, this is a plot for my lettuce at the moment, but at some point it might be for other things like our carrots. But I am going to experiment here. Half of this row is just native topsoil, no compost or anything. And the back half of it I finished with compost. I wanted to do a whole row of just this native topsoil, but it's actually a lot of work to dig up soil and screen it, and I actually didn't even do that great of a job with screening this topsoil. But yeah, that's what I did. I'm going to try to experiment here and see how our plants do. The lettuce is not a heavy feeder, so I'm hoping this will be successful. And also, I've also, as you can see, for this row, I didn't do this on any of the other rows. Maybe I should have. I had a lot of cardboard at the time, and I put cardboard all the way down to mark the row, and then I covered the row with topsoil and compost on top of the cardboard, and I'm hoping this will help. It's covering the walkways here, which is nice. The weeds, I only had enough weed fabric for one row. I'm gonna have to get more. I think after this first succession of lettuce, I'm probably gonna end up purchasing a whole bunch of weed fabric so that I could cover the rows so that the lettuce can grow without competition from weeds. But over here, I'm hoping this will be good and enough. I did this a little bit deeper with the topsoil so that the lettuce will have enough room to grow the roots down. And as this gets wet, it'll start to break down, and it already has actually. So we'll see how this goes. Another thing I've been doing is experimenting with my 2-inch soil blocker. And with these soil blocks, usually you only plant one seed. There's a divot right in the center for you to put your seed. But I wanted to see, because these 2-inch soil blocks, they take up a lot of space. So for this is a 1020 tray, I can only fit 50 starts in there if I only did one seed per block. So I thought, why don't I try putting one in each corner and see how they do. And sure enough, they grow awesome, and it's really easy to break these apart. I break it in half, and then I break it in half again, and then I just plant directly into the ground. And I did this in this past, the last row that I did. My daughter got some footage of that. That's very shaky, but I'll put some up to show that. But I really like how this turns out. So let me show you here how I break these apart. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna break this right down the middle. Doesn't affect them at all. And then I'll break it in half again. That wasn't as clean as I would have liked. I'll break this one in half too. So here, they look kind of like you would pull out of a seed tray, but that's it. These can just go into the ground. So I think they grow way healthier this way in the soil blocks. And by planting 4 seeds in one of these 2-inch blocks, I am only needing to use 2 of the 10-20 trays to fill one of my rows, which are about 45 feet. So that saves me a ton of space. So I really like this, and I think I'm going to keep doing this from now on. I also tried to do the same thing, but instead of doing 4 seeds per 2-inch block, I tried 5 seeds, and that did not go over very well. And I lost, I only did that for 1 tray, but I ended up losing half the tray because, well, for one, they got too big and I wasn't able to transplant them out in time. But because 5 of them all close together, they all got like this yucky disease on the bottom where the lettuce leaves turn like black and brown and liquid and kind of gross, where you don't like, if that was a lettuce you bought from the store in a bag and you wouldn't eat it, you would just get rid of it. So I lost half of tray because of that. That's too much. But when I did 4 and all planted directly in the corners of this 2-inch blocks, they worked great. So I like that. I like that better than using the wind strip trays, which I did a lot of, and I actually still like the wind strip trays. I noticed I got the best results with the wind strip trays when I put a 10-20 tray under them, a 10-20 tray with no holes so that I could water from the bottom. They had the best results, which is that's basically like soil blocking, but in a tray. So they're still air pruned for each plug is air pruned like a soil block, but it's in a tray. So it's a little bit easier, less work up front. But I gotta say, it's not that big of a deal to do these soil blocks with 4 seeds. I think that works really nice. The thing that I don't like about the wind strip tray is that I can't pull them out. I have to push them out from the bottom to pull out the plugs, and it's very time consuming, and I don't like that. But with the soil blocks, I can just plant them in the ground. They don't have to be pulled out of a tray, and I really like that. So from now on, I'm kind of leaning towards just doing soil blocks, being a soil block maximalist. I think they're the best. I think I could see in the color of the seedlings that I planted, started, that they're just so much greener when I did them in soil blocks. It was very similar in the wind strip trays, but I struggled on the wind strip trays when I didn't put a 10-20 tray underneath. They dried out way too quickly. So I'm learning. These are some experiments I've been trying. I was really hoping the wind strip tray would just be the way that I would do seeds from now on, but I'll probably still use them. But I think I just like the soil blocks better. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Just wanted to share some experiments I've been trying in the market garden here. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. So please subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed already, and see more content like this coming up in the future. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Going.
Recording?
Yep.
So, all right, look at these soil blocks. I put 4 seeds in here of Salanova lettuce, and I was trialing to see if this would work better than my cell trays. Look at the roots. Isn't that really cool? So I put 4 seeds in this 2-inch soil block, and I could just break them apart like this, and look at all the roots. Isn't that cool? These are like way healthier than any of the seeds that I started in my trays. I think this is the way I'm gonna have to do my starts from now on, because look how green these are. Look how healthy. Look at them. They just want to grow. They want to grow. That's all I have to say. Soil blocks are the best. Cut.
Done.